We need to take our Jordan Peterson inoculation for the day.
No!
You know how it is, Scotty. If we don't take little doses of Peterson, we could just die of toxic Peterson shock. When we do, the Jordan Peterson Gauntlet, a patrons only New Year's Eve extravaganza where we are going to immerse ourselves in more Jordan Peterson, quite frankly, than anybody ever has. I defy you to find a video of anybody anywhere exposing themselves willingly to a constant 6-hour stream of Jordan Peterson.
You know what's funny too is I've seen. I'll tell you the biggest criticism I've seen. People come to us and they say, "Why would anyone want to watch Jordan Peterson for this long?" It's like we don't want to. We want to make fun of Jordan Peterson for 6 hours. Right. And another reason why is because, like, look, a lot of you guys came together and asked us over and over again to do this. I mean, for months on end, we've gotten messages, we've gotten chat messages, we've gotten fucking DMs. Peterson Gauntlet, Peterson Gauntlet, Peterson Gauntlet. And we were making good on that on the last day of the year, the last possible day of the year we could do it. We're delivering to you guys.
Yep. And like a lot of people go like, well, why would I want to sit and watch Jordan Peterson that long? It's like, you're not watching Jordan Peterson. You're watching us suffer while watching Jordan Peterson. That's the whole idea. Is that we're on the fucking grill for 6 hours and none of us can squirm out of it. Like, we got to sit there and take it. And we got to listen to this. Dude, I got to tell you, this clip, when I saw it, I was like, he is fucking not long. Like, he's wasting away, dude. He looks like a homeless person. And I don't mean that disparagingly, because I know a lot of homeless people have no control over their homelessness. But I'm just saying, like, there's a certain, like, weather-beaten look that homeless people get because they're outside and living in the trash can or whatever the fuck. And I feel like he's got it. Right along with the hollow eyes of a person that's given up. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a haunting clip that we're about to watch, Scotty.
I'll tell you another thing about Peterson too, and like to add to your point, just go back and look at Jordan Peterson right when he came on the scene, like 2015, 2016, when he really started getting out there through YouTube and his lectures and his book tours, and like it's like his 12 steps for life, whatever crap he did. I can't remember the fucking name of it. 12 rules for life. And if you look at him then versus now, like him being addicted to benzos and going to Russia and all that stuff, it took an immense toll on him. And you can just tell. Yeah. Like him being this famous has kind of warped his mind and destroyed him.
I feel like you're right. Yeah. And I feel like that this video that we're about to watch is a recent video. This is like a YouTube short that he recently uploaded. I think it really gives you a good idea where Jordan Peterson is at watching it. And it, like I said, it's pretty fucking haunting. Let's take a look.
God, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. May what is highest guide our vision. May what is highest open our ears. May what is highest guide our tongues.
This guy, dude. This is a person that is on the ragged edge of a mental breakdown, dude. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience here. I've had mental fucking breakdowns and shit. I have mental illness problems. And sometimes you get to a certain point where you've just had fucking enough. That's what I feel like. That is unmistakable. Once you've gone through it or loved somebody who has gone through it or both, you can recognize this in another person immediately, dude.
Also, I think about him saying this, it also just sounds to me like someone who desperately wants to believe the words they're saying but doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he believes any of this shit. Like, I think like, so either. I mean, this is like a grift. He makes a lot of money, and I think it's like there's an attraction to that. Like, hey, because even if you don't personally believe any of this stuff, but you know, hey, this is gonna set my family up for life. Like, my daughter is gonna be rich. She's gonna have a great life.
I think Peterson is different from most grifters because I think he wants to believe it. I think he wants to believe in this ordered, structured, moral landscape and an ordered and structured universe and shit. He cannot stand the idea of tangential chaos.
Oh yeah, he is afraid of chaos. He kind of reminds me of like the Warhammer 40K universe with that. It's like what is the enemy of all humanity? And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Imperium and shit. It's chaos, right? It's the gods
Yep.
of chaos. And it's like Jordan Peterson, you're not are you gonna sit on the golden throne, buddy? Is that your destiny? I don't know. Maybe so.
I mean, he's starting to look in 40K. The Emperor's fucking dead and has been for thousands of years. So he's just a corpse sitting on the golden throne, hooked up to
Yeah,
all the
aside from his
machines.
mind. Yeah, aside
Yeah.
from his mind, basically.
Well, his mind, but he can't communicate, so nobody really even knows if his mind is even there. Like his body is just being used as a conduit for psychic. Anyway, whatever. 40K is great. I love
yeah,
40K.
we're gonna start talking.
This is going to be a problem. I'm telling you, it's good that it came up because when we do this gauntlet, we are going to, like, trust me, it's going to happen a million times. We're going to get off on tangents because our brain is going to lead us away.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're talking about 40K or something else.
Yeah. You mentioned 40K and immediately, like, I got a dopamine hit because I was all buried in this dude's impending fucking mental breakdown, which I think is going to happen. I think in the next year, here's a 2023 prediction. Jordan B. Peterson is going to have a fucking mental breakdown in 2023, and we're going to get a news story about him being hospitalized or some shit in a voluntary care center. He's going to lose his shit this year because look at him, dude. Like I said, this is a really recent clip. This is where he's at.
And may we pray, fearful of the hell we could so easily and carelessly create, deliver us from evil. Shine a light into the corners of our dark hearts. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I honestly, as much as it pains me to say that, I watch this dude and I just pity him.
Yeah,
I really, truly do.
I really dislike Jordan Peterson, but
Same.
underneath all of that, he's not a person I'd spend time around. You know what I mean? I don't agree with most of his stances, especially on social and political issues.
I mean, there's a couple things like I know Jordan Peterson has made tokenistic, like, oh, I think there should be universal health care and some things like that. I'm not saying every
he was critical. He was critical of Trump. You know what I mean? He's and remains a critic of Trump. So you got to give him that. You know what I mean? There are definitely some points where you're not going to disagree with any one person on the planet on everything.
Right, of course.
But that's not, something that's contingent on me liking it. I just don't like the guy. He just puts up, but underlying that kind of distaste for him has always been pity. Like, I think he is a pitiable figure, honestly. I think that he lives a really sad, detached, deluded life. And I think there's probably a lot of people around him that are feeding what is clearly mental illness in order to keep him, going and pumping out this pseudo philosophical wisdom that he does.
Oh, he's in a prison. He's in a prison, dude. Like, because if you look at just Jordan Peterson's like arc of his life, I think he was way happier before all this fucking fame shit. I mean, and look, Jordan Peterson, like, I didn't even realize because I've been doing some research on him because I know we're gonna do this gauntlet. I mean, he actually got into the public sphere like in the late 90s.
Yeah, he's been around a lot longer than people think. He was doing the talk show circuit and shit in the late 90s, early 2000s.
He did a book. It took him years to write, about philosophy and I think like politics and warfare and all. I can't remember the name of it. I know he even did like a series in Canada. They produced a series based on that book, I believe. Like he's done a lot of stuff.
So yeah, he's been around longer than most people realize. But he's really like, over the last 4 or 5 years, he's really exploded in terms of his prominence, and his audience, and his reach has really gone off the charts.
Joe Rogan definitely helped push him out there more, but Peterson really took off. There was like a bill in Canada. I think it's like, I want to say it's like C-15. It's something. I can't remember the exact bill, but it was about pronouns and stuff.
It was about like public employees, because the reason that he was protesting is because it was aimed directly at academia.
Yes.
And it was a bill making it wrong for any employee to knowingly misgender a person after they've been it was like a law against harassment and hate speech.
Oh, that's
Like
C-17.
if somebody was like, I'm trans, you couldn't call it me, and my pronouns.
I guess B. Okay, so C-16.
It's B-16 or O-16. Okay, got it. No, C-16 or whatever, one of those. But yeah, no, that was basically it. It was about criminalizing gender harassment, basically.
And Peterson was, he's making an argument, which I mean, he has every right to do. It's about a free speech issue. So and like I remember hearing that, I'm like, okay, and I didn't even think the first time that's the first I'd ever heard of Jordan Peterson, and just based on that, I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I can at least see his point, So because he was making a free speech argument, which I'm always interested in hearing about people debate free speech, and it's a very thorny issue. Because a lot of times you can see people, you want to protect certain people, but you also don't want to infringe on someone's right to speak the truth or what they feel is the truth.
Yeah, I mean freedom of speech is always a weird issue for me, Scotty. To be honest with you, not to go off on another tangent, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, Jordan Peterson inspires that.
And in that sense, that's like the power of Peterson going through us because he's the master of tangents.
No, he is. He inspires them, and he's constantly caught up in one as well. You're absolutely right about that. But so yeah. Anyway, before I go off on my freedom of speech tangent, if you're a pleb, we're going to cut this out of tonight's show and upload it on the channel. And you're seeing it now. If you're a pleb,
you need to go right now.
Haven't joined the Patreon, you still have time. As of the posting of this video, you still have time to sign up and see the Jordan Peterson gauntlet. Patreon a while ago, upgraded its system. So if you sign up now, you're not going to be charged until this time next month. It's not like you're going to get double charged or anything.
So you sign up the day we do this show, which is December 31st. Your next billing is going to be on January. Is 31 days? Yeah, 31st, 30th, whatever it is. Look, I'm not good with dates and shit like that.
A lot of that used to happen on Patreon a lot, as people would sign up towards the end of the month, and then all of a sudden they get double billed because it billed at the beginning of every month.
Oh,
that's not a problem anymore.
We've got a million messages on that. It's like, guys, what the fuck? And we're like, we're not trying to do this to you guys. We're not. This is Patreon's fucked.
It was just
system.
how Patreon collected money for me, but that's all fixed.
It's fixed.
We also have a deal for a yearly membership. If you sign up for a yearly membership, you get 2 months.
Save some money
for free. So it's like you get 12 months for 10.
The new year approaches and brings with it tidings of neo-Malthusian implication. Grinning liberal bobbleheads be warned. While some poor sods are reveling in festivity, I and other serious critics of the neo-feminist liberal agenda will be hard at work, unpacking the dialectic, attempting to make heads or tails of the new implications wrought by this new priesthood of public belief. 3 slobs known as Pessimist Productions will be facing me down in a gauntlet of Herculean proportion. I will not go easy on them. They are anti-man, anti-God, and furthermore, anti-masculine. They seek to confuse the youth by blurring the lines of gender and upsetting the apple cart of race and class. I will not allow them to do so. Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon now, or else you will be left shivering and naked in the total darkness of ignorance. Only patrons will get to see the pain, the beauty, and the glory of these cultural terrorists meeting their match. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Starting on December 31st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and continuing until all of the United States has rung in the new year. If you miss the Jordan Peterson gauntlet, you'll likely never forgive yourself. Be brave in the face of the feminist. Reject the modern assumption that men are evil and wrong. Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon now, or else submit yourself to the decay of modernity.